We are rolling on all cylinders. Let's get it.
Cylinders, huh?
Yeah.
The red light.
Do you have a smaller box?
This is my way of trying to force you to start the show. Fine.
A good producer.
Hey, I can hear the sounds today, Bo.
Hey, you can hear the sounds?
There you go.
Look at that. And there's our cold
Exciting.
open.
There it goes.
And there's the cold open.
Walker Tucker is so happy now.
I told Walter Tucker.
You just said Walter.
I told Walter. I'm just referring to him as Walter now. I told Walter that we're just going to get him a press pass that has every name that we've called him on it.
For those of you that picked anybody but Gainesville to win the 63rd Lanierland tournament, please walk out of the room.
Oh, anybody but Gainesville. Oh, I picked anybody but Gainesville. I'm sorry.
I began to walk. I picked Gainesville boys.
I was not supposed to walk out.
Hey, I picked Flowery Branch boys.
Okay.
And Chestatee girls.
Okay.
Mr. Pittman over here, who's bragged about his bracket since we made the brackets.
That's
not true. Not true. Check the tape.
Because that's a lie.
Welcome,
Fake news.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Our brand new basketball pick'em show here on AccessWDUN.com. Bo Wilson alongside Jeff Hart, Coach Chad Pittman, our producer, Seth Chapman, and somewhere in the world, where in the world is Walker Tucker McQuarrie. Hello, everyone. How you doing?
He's
I know.
or there. I don't know which one.
Yeah, which side of the table is he going to be on
We
today?
don't know yet. We're going to figure it out.
Right, so he's
in
right,
post.
He's right there.
All right, guys. So we're going to talk about Lanierland today just because the tournament was fantastic.
My neck's hurting.
My
neck is hurting because I'm having to look up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff. Jeff, we're standing today for the first time. Look, coaches want to be cut.
No, Jeff.
Oh, cut Jeff.
Every show. How did he get on here?
Let's keep
How
rolling.
did I get in here?
Keep rolling.
All right, Coach. Since you were bragging after day one, I'm 5-3. I'm 5-3.
At the end of the day, I was 9-5 overall.
Yes.
I was 6-2 the first
Walker
day. Did I win a game
was
after that?
7-1 day one.
Yes.
But I think he still won. I think he only probably had 3 or 4 losses for the entire tournament.
How terrible was I? I got lost in the whole filming and photography aspect.
I didn't even bring the bracket,
Yeah,
so
I stopped counting after the first day.
I quit when Flowery Branch and then Chestatee was eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, the most talk about our picks, by the way, Lanierland. Did anybody get a comment?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I need to make a solid retraction.
No, you don't.
What are
There's
you
no-
retracting?
No, absolutely.
The fact
there is no retraction from me. I don't retract from anything. I stand by my picks. They
what
were
I-
wrong,
The
but
only
it's okay.
thing that I will say this and this alone. If I had seen the Gainesville girls
Oh, here we go.
before I got
Here
into
we go.
I'm being dead serious. If I had seen
That's
them play
such an
before we
excuse.
got into the tournament, I probably would have
I'm
picked
not
them
making
to go
that
first.
You know what?
excuse.
If I
I
had
was
known the
solid.
fourth quarter was going to happen with the Patriots and the Falcons, I would have picked the Patriots. Like, how far back are we going to go
Actually,
with
Jeff,
this?
you have used that same excuse. I think that's where you got it from, right, Seth?
Well, again, how far back do we want to go?
Actually, I'm pretty sure I was the originator of that one.
Probably.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Probably.
certain someone who we got a lot of words from. That was my first look, because I'm not joking. When I saw Gainesville come out there and I saw them start to play, I said, "Oh," that was about my response. Was "Oh."
Well, look, I think Chestatee could have won that.
I think we saw
Bluff
some great
could have won
basketball.
that.
That's what I think we saw.
Gainesville Chestatee went overtime. What a great game that was on the girls' side. I mean, that game was up for grabs.
Oh, solid tournament overall.
Wow, that's it.
That's all we got.
That's it.
That's all we get from you?
Me and Walker were just, waiting
Right.
on the next picks,
Right.
waiting to go.
That's it. You're only here for the picks, nothing else.
No, I will say
just go
this
wait
about
in
the
lobby.
tournament.
Go wait in the lobby. We'll call you when we're ready.
What you got, Walker?
I'll say this about the tournament. That might be the best Lanierland tournament we've had in a decade or so. I can't think of just from beginning to end. We've had some good championship games going back to Last year's Lanierland, the boys championship game, Gainesville East Hall, was fantastic. But to have as many good games as we had over the 24 games that were played over those 3 days,
24.
I can't think of a Lanierland tournament in the last 10 years that has had that many good games where the basketball has just been so good top to bottom. I think that just tells you how even Hall County basketball is, and that just makes for exciting basketball as we get into region play here over the next month and a half.
I would be interested to know Coach's takeaway from the tournament. I know, Coach, before we went into the tournament, you had already seen most everybody play, but from a coaching standpoint, what is your takeaway from the tournament?
Well, a lot of positives. I mean, in a tournament, a lot of coaches mentioned the atmosphere, the energy that you can't duplicate. So that's a huge thing to prepare yourself for later. The quality of games, to get people reps, to get teams going. Like, for example, Gainesville, they were missing several of their kids until right before the tournament. So that's big for team chemistry and so forth. So I think as a whole, I think the tournament is definitely one that can be kind of a springboard into your region play coming up as early as maybe tonight for some teams. But overall, really, really good quality. It didn't matter if you won the first one or lost as far as getting quality games and getting good experience. I mean, because at the end of the day, yes, everybody wants to win the Lanierland, but you also, as a coach, the reason you play in any tournament really is to get your team prepared for later.
What teams do you think can get the most out of the tournament from this year? You talk about springboard forward. Which teams do you look at like, okay, they had a solid tournament and they can use this going forward?
Well, I thought on the girls' side, I was really impressed with Cherokee Bluff. Even though Gainesville won it, Gainesville's got 4 seniors that have played a lot of games, have played, are playing really well. So, like Seth said, I think if we all had maybe seen them a couple times prior, we might have chose differently. I don't know that I would have, but the Bluff girls, I was really impressed with them, and to get the freshmen and a couple others some quality reps in those big games, I think that's huge for them. Flip of that on the boys' side, I think Cherokee Bluff boys had a really good tournament as well. And I think they're playing really good as they go into their game tonight with North Hall. Gainesville boys, like we mentioned, they got Raven, Pitts, and several others from football. So they're now finally getting kind of basketball in their system, if you will. So some chemistry there. So those are some of the ones that probably stand out. But overall, I feel like there's a lot of quality basketball that coaches can use.
You mentioned Bluff girls. I was really interested to see. We had heard a lot about Claire Carlson and how she's playing as a freshman. I'm hard to say. She was the best player in the tournament because there were some great performances. But I'm going to tell you, if she's going to improve from where she is now, she's going to have quite a career at the high school. There were a lot of good
she didn't play like a freshman.
No, she didn't. There were a lot of good young talent. I think that was the thing that I took away from the tournament more than anything else is, there was a lot of good young freshmen and sophomores that were putting in quality minutes and quality performances, across a lot of teams.
Yeah, it says a lot about the future, hopefully, of basketball. And I agree with what Walker said. Probably one of the best tournaments in a long, long time that we've seen as far as competitive across the board, because every game was crazy. We had a double overtime game, an overtime game, several close games like the
Branch Gainesville boys.
Yeah, went down to the last.
Yeah, it was a tip and away. Yeah, and even the girls' championship game, a close game in that one. So was very excited to see how the tournament turned out, and I guess Walker won.
Yeah.
He did. Oh, look at him. Yeah, I won.
Hey, I've been calling my shot since the second round of the football playoff picks.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations. All right, so
I earned so Jeff pays for my lunch the next time I'm in town.
Yes.
Right? That's what we said.
Jeff's got your lunch.
I thought Jeff was getting Waffle House after everything was said and done, and that never happened.
No, that never happened.
No,
it wasn't going to happen. And okay. Walker, sometime next year.
I'll be in town before then, Jeff. Don't worry.
We are
I might not be.
what,
That
2024?
would have
We're
been, I was
talking
about to say that would have been really cheesy. To
I'm
say
in town.
A few days
I'm
ago.
in town for a quick stop through Georgia for a wedding at the end of the month. So I'll
pay
cash
up
in
for
on-
him.
I'll cash
Hey,
in Saturday afternoon.
It's a coincidence. I'm going to be on vacation at the end of the month, so I'm not going to be here. So
Denied.
Sorry about that.
Bo, can
Sorry
you
about that.
can you approve
denied.
that or deny it?
Denied.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I have denied your vacation
I have
request.
denied your request.
Oh, I thought you were denying his lunch.
All right, let's get to the picks. And by the way, we're picking for Friday night's game.
Was there anything else that
so
we want to say about Lanierland as far as
what do you want to say about it?
where it should be?
Where should it be, Jeff?
Where should it be? I would love to see this tournament permanently at Cherokee Bluff and Gainesville. Those are the two biggest gyms. You look at that Gainesville Flowery Branch crowd in that game, there's only two places that could have held that crowd. That was at Bluff and at Gainesville. If we had that game in the championship at Chastity, nice gym, wouldn't have been able to hold it. There were 300 or 400 people outside of the gym who couldn't get in. Now, I just feel like the teams in general, Hall County, they're letting money slip through their hands. They're letting fans not be able to access the tournament because they keep putting it in gyms that can't handle the crowds. So is there a way we can come together and put this thing at Cherokee Bluff and Gainesville every year, swap the finals, whatever you want to do? It's time for this tournament. It's gotten bigger than it's ever been. We need to be in the biggest places that can handle the crowds and what is needed for this tournament. So that's it. Coach, what do you think?
So I would say this.
Here it is. Drum roll, please.
Seems like in the last few days there have been some possible suggestions made to some of the people that might make those decisions about things like location, seating, and different things. So there could be some preliminary thoughts on that the next few weeks. Who knows, to where there might be some new decisions made. But because that tournament includes so many schools, so many administrators and coaches and so forth, those changes are not easily made. So I think that over time that can happen. But I do think we're at a point now, to your point, it's a very large tournament. You want everybody in the community to be able to participate and so forth. So I think those things will be looked at, is my opinion.
Yeah, I don't.
Being looked at and being implemented are one thing. I mean, that's the two
Well, it's
different.
actually
the
two things.
Two different
Yeah.
things is what I meant. Those are two different things. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Y'all always seem to pick the one thing I mess up on every day. I'm sure we've got some sort of theme song for that, right, Walker?
New segment.
New segment.
Very good,
Don't,
Walker.
Hey, the
don't
thing is-
make me go back through every show and do this.
Here's the thing for me. When I first came to
Proceeds
Hall
to do
County
it
in
for the fun of it.
1991,
Here we go.
when I first came to Hall County in 1991,
Wait.
that
Could
was
this be your stat of the day?
no. Yes, this can be the Saturday. Sure, go ahead, roll it.
Roll it.
Roll it.
Here's some things you need to know.
It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
That was the first thing I ever covered, was a Lanierland tournament. And I had never seen an event in high school, and all the stuff that I had covered and been to and participated in, in my high school days and leading up to that in 1991, that was like Lanierland. It's a great tournament, and it needs to start operating and being in the tournament that it has grown into. It's the best tournament in the state. Look at the fans. There probably isn't another tournament anywhere that gets that kind of a 3-day commitment from the fans that want to come and watch. So it's time to up it. And if the people involved, whoever make these decisions, I'm not saying egos are involved, but if there are egos involved, they need to be put aside for the betterment of this tournament moving forward. It's a great tournament. Let's push it into the forefront even more. So I can appreciate the thinking and talking about it. It's time to implement this and move this tournament into the status that it deserves to be.
That is an interesting
Yeah.
fact that Lanierland was
Yeah.
the first thing you covered. That
Well,
is quite interesting.
Ditto that.
Well, it is.
I
walked
So your
away.
stat would be how many Lanier lands have you covered?
I have now covered
His first Lanier Land was back in 1991.
Well, yeah, I guess it might have been like the December of 1990, whatever it was.
Way back.
So that was the first one. And, I haven't covered, there was about a 5-year period when I wasn't in journalism. So I missed from like 97, 96, 97 up to about 2000.
But I will say everything you said, is good.
Well,
I mean, I don't think a lot of people are going to disagree with you.
Well, and
it's just going to take, like Coach said, a lot of things are going to happen.
Look, they've had a lot of time to figure this out. They could have figured it out. And I'm just saying, I think the only reason it hasn't been done at this point is because there's egos involved. You have Hall County and you have Gainesville, and I understand that. I do. But let's just be real. There isn't a gym like Cherokee Bluff, and there isn't a gym like Gainesville other than those two gyms. If you want to fully go where you can have 5,000 to 6,000 people at a game, and I think this tournament could have that many. There's only two other places you could go, and that would be Buford or go to, say, North Georgia. Those are the only.
I just want it to be air conditioned.
We got that. You've been saying that for how many years?
It's going to be cool.
But
we all were
Mike
sweaty
Toasty
when
in
we
there.
got done on
like
Friday
60,
night.
Walker, I don't want to hear
degrees.
anything
This
from
is
you.
supposed
You
to
were
always
wearing
be a
long
fun
sleeves.
show. I know this is always supposed to be a fun show, but Lanierland.
You just took it serious. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. It's dear in my heart, and I want to see the tournament continue to prosper and grow. And I think there's plenty of growth for everybody involved, and I understand there are a lot of schools, but everybody can benefit.
Speaking of growing, happy birthday to Jeff Hart, everybody.
Wow, that was exciting.
Yes.
That was exciting.
Your age is growing. All right, let's move on to some picks here
Is that
on
why
the
I'm
show.
in the
thought you
middle?
were
Is that
gonna
why
start
I'm in the
singing,
middle
Bo.
of two
Happy
giants?
birthday to you. All right, guys, let's get to our pickings, as we are all good pickers, right? At least some of us in this room are.
That's the only reason.
Not me.
That's the only reason Coach comes. So maybe we ought to just
I
call
can't
him
pick.
in
Yeah.
after we get done with all of our other
All right,
stuff.
let's start at the top with a big rival game coming up. White County at North Hall. This is a non-region game, although it still feels like a region game.
It kind of does.
But these two teams, White County, we'll start with the girls first. White and North Hall played early on, I think back mid-December. White County won that, I think, by 6 points or so in that game. And this one always has the rival feel in it, obviously, because that's what it is. It's White North Hall, no matter what they play in. Can North Hall knock off White County second time around?
I don't know. White County's been playing pretty well. Coach Davenport has them playing pretty well. I'm gonna take, even though it's at North Hall, you got to wonder, are they a little down after the Gainesville loss over the weekend? I'm gonna go with White County. I really like the Lady Warriors. I think they're gonna have a really solid season all year. So I'm going with White County girls.
Okay, what about on the boys' side?
We picking on the boys' side. I'm gonna go with White County in the sweep. They have Jaden Ye. And I'm just going to stop there.
North Hall beat them first round, right?
Yes.
That's all right. I'm gonna say they turned the tables on them. White County wasn't playing that great early in the season. I think they're getting better.
Walker, what do you think, buddy? I might get on your coattail since you won Lanierland.
That's fair. I tend to agree with Jeff.
It's a comfy seat. It's a comfy seat.
Yeah, Seth would know for sure.
Yeah.
They serve nice drinks and pizza. It's great.
He had a cup holder. He had been on his coattails for so long.
Yep.
I want some pizza.
This is a little bit surprising. I tend to agree with Jeff on the girls' side.
I've got to go. See ya.
Why is that so surprising? I don't understand.
Because we just don't agree with you, Jeff, more often than not, or at least don't admit to agreeing with you for whatever that's worth.
Well, thanks for saying it publicly then. I appreciate that.
It is now on the record, folks.
I think that White County's girls are really, really good. And, over the past 3 years that they've been in a little bit of a rivalry with Lumpkin County for the top of Region 7 3A. That's been Lumpkin County's really most competitive game. And it's going to end up being that way again when they meet later on in the season. I think White County's girls have the ability to pressure North Hall and not allow Christina Peach and some of the other 3-point shooters, the V sisters and everybody like that. They're not going to be able to get wide open threes, which is what, they're really good at hitting. And they did so throughout the Lanierland tournament. So I'll take White County's girls to win in a close game there. I'm going to go with North Hall's boys, though, to be able to shut down Jaden Ye and the White County Warriors basketball team. I think that the way that Miles Kendall throws the pressure out there and their ability to move the ball offensively and get good, easy looks. They got a lot of good looks in that championship games against Gainesville. They just couldn't knock them down. I think that North Hall's offense and the ability to move the ball around the perimeter gives them the edge in that matchup non-region.
Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Bo.
Director Pittman
called
over
shots.
here.
We already know this.
You know, I mean,
We're going to start having to do nose goes for this stuff.
yeah. Okay. All right. Paper, rock, scissors. Huh?
Why do you say it out of order?
Paper, scissors, rocks.
I'm muting you.
Okay, Seth, you're up then.
Dang it. Go.
Yeah, it worked out for you, didn't it?
No.
Okay, so White County, North Hall. This is at North Hall at Lynn Cottrell
He's stalling, folks.
Center.
He's stalling.
Court,
Look at him.
East or west?
Hey,
See the sweat forming on Bo's
South.
brow.
you got any clue what you're doing here? Though?
No, I don't actually. But I know White County is playing well, but I think North Hall has the opportunity here to avenge their early season loss. So I'll go with the North Hall girls.
Okay.
In the girls' game. On the boys' side, I'm going to pick the sweep here. I think North Hall is going to sweep White County on Friday. However, if Mr. Yay goes off, it could be different. But I'm going to stick with North Hall in the sweep here.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go the same direction as you, Bo. I think North Hall's coming off Lanierland with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. I think they've got to themselves, they want to prove something. I think they come out here and get this win. They get the sweep.
The question is he going to show this to his wife, the White County girl?
Yeah,
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Now
okay.
it's Coach Pittman's turn.
So I'm going to go
You're gonna
White
go with
County
split.
girls,
Yep.
Okay.
Here it is.
and I'm going to go North Hall boys.
There it is.
I think
Split.
White's boys, I think Ye is probably one of the best players in the area, but I don't think he has as good a support cast as he did last year. North Hall, really, I tell you, the kid that stood out for me for North Hall in the tournament was Cole Holtze. He had a huge game
really
that last
good
game,
tournament.
so I think that carries over. He can be their third scorer to go with Gailey and Sanders. So I like the North Hall boys. On the girls' side, White County's really deep. They're playing 9, 10, 11 kids. They're getting contributions from a lot of people. I think over 32 minutes, it's the old East Hall adage of we're just going to, run you to death and wear you down. So I think White County girls win.
Okay.
Wait, you said East Hall?
No, he was
The East Hall adage.
The adage.
He used the SAT word there.
All right, let's get to North Forsyth and Jackson County.
Today's Access Sports Weekly word of the day.
I'm going to – Coach, why don't you start this pick?
Sounds good. Who are we picking this time?
North Forsyth and Jackson County. This one's pretty easy.
Okay, so I'm going
Let me
with
give you an easy one.
North Forsyth and a sweep.
Yeah.
The boys have the big kid, about 6'10", and they've got a good supporting cast. The girls at North Forsyth, now for about, 12 to 15 years, they just reload. So I think sweep.
I'm going to go with Coach on that. I think that's a sweep as well.
Sweep.
Bring out the brooms.
Yeah, bring the brooms out. Sweep it. Sweep it all the way. Gainesville at Hab Central. Now, the Hab Central boys, their record indicates they're pretty good this year, or at least the first half of the season went well for them. Gainesville only playing 8 games before Lanierland as far as the boys go, and the girls, actually. But both Gainesville teams, girls and boys, swept through Lanierland tournament for that championship. Can that continue as, there we go. Well, technical difficulty here. Let me fix that.
We fixed it. We're back, folks.
We're back. Gainesville, Habersham Central. Habersham Central boys, they've started the season well. Not sure about the girls. Should have looked that up before we went to the show, but did not.
8-3.
8-3, so both teams have started pretty well. This was going to be a test for Gainesville, who swept through Lanierland. They only played 8 games before Lanierland, but they swept through the tournament. Now they face Habersham Central in a region contest. This one will be interesting, to say the least, especially up in Mount Airy. Jeff, you want to start this one?
No, why don't you start?
No, Jeff, you start.
Why do
this
I
one.
have to start?
Because I just said you did.
Wow.
I'll start.
Oh, he's
Look
going
at
to start.
there. I was going to make you play rock,
ahead,
paper,
Coach.
scissors.
So hot in here.
So I'm going to go Habersham girls to upset
There we
Gainesville.
go.
Kind of the let down after the being on top of the mountain. It's at Habersham. Coach Bradley does a great job. Those girls have done really well the last few years. I'm going to go with Hab in a really close game, but Habs they'll be well coached. So I think they'll pull off the upset there. And then on the boys' side, I'm going to go with a continuation of the energy and so forth for Gainesville, and they beat Habersham single digits in a close one as well. But
I would tend to agree with you. Everything you just said on that. Gainesville girls, of course, coming out of the tournament. Maybe that letdown will happen. I don't know if it will or not, especially if the young sisters are on and they're playing full 4 quarters. I think Gainesville's pretty good when they're all clicking together. Can that happen on the road? I don't know. Hab Central, obviously a home court advantage, so I am going to pick the Hab Central girls in that. And then on the flip side of that, it's hard to pick against Gainesville after seeing all the pieces together. I will say this, Coach, I don't know if you'll agree with me or not on this, but when they officially gel together, they might be one of those teams, one, that is hard to beat, and 2, that you don't want to play in the region tournament.
I would definitely agree with the don't want to play. I think the only thing really, I don't know if anybody in the area is better than them in transition. I mean, we saw the highlight reels for 3 days. If they can work on that and get their half-court offense clicking, I think they'll be really good. So, I like them.
Yeah, so I'm going to pick Gainesville on the road, the boys, to knock off Hab Central. Although I did see Coach Yancey at the Lanierland Championships.
Oh, I did not see him. That was nice. I agree with what Coach said also. Look, this Havisham girls team is pretty good. I mean, they have a 5-point loss to White County, who's only got 1 loss all year. And they have been a program that has been pretty consistent over the last few years. This might be the toughest game that Gainesville has had all year so far to this point. On the road, opening region play, there's going to be, it's a really important game for both teams. I'm going to go with Hab girls. I think that it's going to be very, very close. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt at home. And I agree with what you said, Bo, about now that we've gotten to see Gainesville with all of its parts together, I think that's going to be a scary team if they continue to improve every year. Not only are you not going to want to play them in the region tournament, I'm not sure you're going to want to play them in the state tournament either. So I'm going to take Gainesville boys on the road and Hab girls at home.
Seth?
Yeah, come on, Seth Rowe.
I agree with Coach Pittman, as in, Gainesville in the transition on the boys' side. Just don't know that they can be beat there. I'm going with Gainesville boys on the road. And you know what? I'm scared, so I'm going with Gainesville girls too.
You're scared?
I'm scared.
Lord. Look, you're making me sweat in here.
I didn't do that.
Wow. Why are you scared, Seth?
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. It's a pattern.
He's scared of the scores
It's
table.
a pattern.
Oh, yeah.
I doubted in Lanierland.
I think he is. I think he is.
I doubted in Lanierland, and it frankly came back to bite me. So I'm not going to do it again.
Look, I think that is a very legitimate
Walker,
concern.
what's your pick?
See, I have no reason to be scared because
you're in Virginia.
I'm 6 states away from you guys, and so regardless of who I pick, the only way people can get at me is in my Twitter mentions. Thanks, by the way, to Coach Kendall there in the opening round of Lanierland, the only loss I had in the first round. I'm going to still go with Gainesville girls, though. I think they're the most balanced team that we saw in Lanierland in terms of just how many people can score and can hurt you. Zaria Williams, the Young sisters. I mean, the list just keeps going. And like I said in that championship game, I think they have the best 6-man in the entire Hall County area coming off the bench. So I think that Gainesville's girls go on the road, win a very close one, and then Gainesville's boys run away with it in the nightcap there and win in Mount Airy by a pretty hefty margin.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. I had to go take care of some AC. Man, this room was 80,000 degrees.
You and the AC.
Yes, it has to be cool.
Wow.
Let's move to the Flowery Branch and East Side boys.
This is an interesting game.
I just looked up some info on the East Side girls as well.
Okay.
I think that game is going to be interesting.
You do?
Yes.
It could
Both
be.
of them have beat Flowery Branch and East Side. I know this is kind of throwing a wrinkle in it.
Okay.
Both of them have beating Clark Central. I think another one common opponent.
Yeah, it's a region game.
6-4 for East Side, 2-1 of the region on the girls' side. And of course, Flowery Branch, I think they're near the same.
Right. I think they're 1-1.
I don't know. You want to pick it?
Let's pick it.
This game is it at East Side?
Yes.
I'm going to pick East Side girls in this one.
Okay, and the boys?
And on the boys' side, it's going to be key for Tyleek Worth, Faye Honors, to play big.
Oh, yeah.
We saw them play in that opening game, which I'm just going to say it, which I thought was probably the boys' championship game, Gainesville Flowery Branch.
I think you're right.
You know, if Tyleek Worth has a big game, if Faye has a big game, if the guard play is working well, if they're hitting some shots from the outside, I think Flowery Branch wins this game. But I think maybe the experience of East Side is going to be
East Side is 12-1.
Yeah, might trump that. So I'm going to go with East Side boys.
Okay.
You're going with a sweep.
Going with a sweep.
Yeah, I'll take the Eagles in a sweep as well. Just going down to East Side is tough enough, but then when you have to face two teams that are very good basketball teams, and I just think it's going to be a little bit too much for Flowery Branch. Region tournament, maybe they can pull it off depending on where that region tournament ends up, but I'll take East Side in the sweep.
I think the Flowery Branch girls, to me, are one of those teams that I think once they've got some new parts, and then one of their new parts is lost for the season, and they were just getting comfortable. I think once they get used to what their new rotations are, I still think that this Flowery Branch team is a team that can make some noise. They were probably disappointed in their lanierland finish this year because I think they probably were hoping for something a little bit more, which means I think that they've had a few days here to kind of look at that, reassess, regroup. I'm going to take the Branch girls on the road. I don't know if that's an upset, but I'm going to take the Branch girls on the road. And I'm going to I think this Flowery Branch Eastside boys game could be one of the best games of the night. I kind of agree with you. I think the experience of Eastside, they're 12-1. It is a really solid team. That's a lot to chew off. No matter how good Flowery Branch boys are playing. I'm going to take Eastside, but I think it could be very, very close. And I do think the Branch boys could steal one on the road if they're clicking on all cylinders. Coach?
I don't know that I'm have enough knowledge to pick this, so that's what I was trying to look at and go by what maybe.
Who needs knowledge, Coach?
That's why we don't let you have.
Who needs knowledge, Coach?
Right. Come on, Coach. Just go with your gut.
I just don't know enough about Eastside's girls. You said what's their record?
6-4.
6-4, 2-1.
Who have they beat in the region?
They beat Clark Central.
I know Branch girls lost to Jefferson.
Well, let me help you with your picks here.
Wait a second.
They lost to Loganville in the region.
How close was that game?
21.
57-36. They beat Heritage in the region 65-62, beat Clark Central 52-43, lost to Morgan County 50-40.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the Branch girls.
Okay.
In that one. I like their intensity and their defensive effort as of late, so I'm going to go with the Branch girls. On the boys' side, I'm probably going to go with the East Side because it's there.
Yeah.
Correct? Yes. I think it'll be a good one, and I think if Worth and Honors play, those are two kids that you don't load the bus without them.
Right.
So if those two kids play well, you got a chance every night. But looking over East Side's schedule, they've played really solid. I'm go East Side. So we'll go split there: Flowery Branch girls and East Side boys.
Okay.
Walker, have you picked yet?
I already picked.
Yeah, Seth,
I went Eagles.
have you picked yet?
I have not picked. I
Are
had
you
to go
going
fix my
to?
camera. Yes, I am going to pick.
Wait, do you have an option of not picking?
Wait, do I have an option?
No.
Well, he gave it to you as if, would you like to pick?
Jeff,
Would you
you
like?
have no options.
I have
Seth.
no options. Seth gets an option, though.
Get on it, Seth.
Flowery Branch sweeps.
Okay, there it is.
All right.
All right, so I'm going
Wow.
to throw at you right now.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to no discussion.
No discussion.
Wild card rundown picks.
Oh, let's do
Okay,
it.
let's
You
go.
ready?
The rundown.
This is my
Let's go.
favorite
Just
kind.
no discussion, no thought, no nothing. Not that we put a lot of thought in the
Just
first 5 or 6 picks.
do
What if
it.
I end up having a stat of the week?
Cedar
already
Shoals
had
and
it.
East Forsyth. Go.
Boys or girls?
Girls.
Oh, East Forsyth.
East Forsyth.
East Forsyth.
East Forsyth.
Okay.
Chestatee boys at Seconder.
Chestatee boys.
Chesty boys.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to tell you I was kind of disappointed with Chestatee in the tournament. I'm going to go with Seconder. I really thought they were
Holding it against them, huh?
I kind of.
I'm going to go with the
and I
War
love the War
Eagles.
Eagles. Everybody knows that.
I'm going to go Seconder. It's there, right?
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
They're
That's
pretty
Seconder.
solid. I
If it
saw
was
them
at,
play
if it
earlier
was
in the
at
season.
Chestatee, I would take the War Eagles.
And
It's on the road.
last pick,
Okay.
Westall boys at Wesleyan.
Wesleyan's got 6'6", 6'7", so they're going to be able to play against and match up Malin and Holder and those guys. Wow. I think it'll be a close one, but it's at Wesleyan, so I'm going Wesleyan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go,
Wesleyan.
yeah, I'm going to Wesleyan as well. Although, I mean, if Owen Jenkins does have a night and Allen, Quintavious, and all those guys do put it together, I mean, I could see Westall winning, but I'm going to go with Wesleyan
I'm gonna put my faith out on a branch, and I'm gonna go West Hall.
on a tiny branch.
I'm going with Seth on this. I'm sticking with them. I picked them to win the tournament. I know, and I think the moment was too big for them in that opening
Huge.
game. But I thought they got better with every game. They played very well up until the Lanierland tournament. I'm going to go with West Hall, I guess, in an upset.
All right,
On the
guys.
road?
There it is. There's your picks. Coach, you happy?
Tickled to death.
He's tickled pink. Can't you tell? We should put the red line over him.
I think we got him because he said he likes to come in prepared. We gave him no preparation.
Yeah, no prep. He's
No
not
prep.
happy
Look
about
at-
it. Look
look,
at
he-
him.
I don't love not
See,
being
look,
able
look,
to
look.
have a little research time. You
Well,
know? I asked for the games earlier today. I didn't get them, but it's okay.
You were in meetings all day.
I
You
feel
wouldn't
good
have
about-
time to pick
I feel
them.
good about most of my picks. on that.
Well,
I
is there
do.
one you want to take back? What do you
No.
not feel good about?
Can't take
I'm
him
good.
back. You already
But what
took
do
your
you
finger
not
off
feel
of
good
him.
about?
That's
What
my
do you
story,
not?
and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, but which one do you not feel good about? You said you feel good about.
Roll
most
the
of them.
music.
I feel like I'm going to win. How about that, Jeff?
Coach. I have no chance against you. I'm just going to tell you.
Hey, look, we're getting out of here. We're getting out of here, guys.
It's hot.
Yeah,
Let's
it
get
is hot. Actually, the air's on now. It feels good.
Oh, now we're leaving
Just
and
now
the
that
air's
it gets
on.
good.
Now the air's on. That's
Oh,
great.
they can find us on social media.
Oh,
correct?
they can find us everywhere. You can go to our Twitter page at WDUN Sports. You can go to Facebook, find us that way too. You can go to Instagram, find us with that keyword search as well. And also, everything you need to know at AccessWDUN.com for the entire crew. Enjoy the second half of high school basketball. Rolling toward Macon, baby.
Do you want me to count it in, Bo?
I got you. 3, 2.
Access Sports Weekly.
God dang it. That was really well done, too. Dead gummit. Dead gummit.